Welcome to Faminga TV, and today we are here at NOSEC in Kigali, where we are witnessing the AgriTech4Rwanda Innovation Challenge, powered by Rwanda Green Fund through Ireme Invest, in the collaboration with CGIAR Hub Sustainable Finance, that's ImpactSF, and for AIP and Impact Hub Kigali with the funding from the Gates Foundation. A groundbreaking initiative designed to enhance climate resilience in Rwanda's agriculture sector. The challenge identified in support high potential agri-tech venture that transforms Rwanda agriculture sector by introducing innovation technology and business models, expanding access to climate smart solutions for smallholder farmers, driving inclusion growth through job creation and gender and youth engagement. And this AgriTech4Rwanda Innovation Challenge has been here for a while because it started in the late March this year, where they have a selection and they selected over 25 startups, including Faminga, of course. And those 25 went through the boot camp in June. And in September, we are here witnessing the pitch of those ventures pitching. The 5 winners will get away with the 300 million. Everyone is here excited. I can't wait to talk to the ventures, their representatives, and talk about their solutions that are really solving the problems that the farmers face. Stay in touch. We'll be showing you everything that is going on here at NOSEC in Kigali. And keep watching Faminga.
Celebration of action, partnerships, and the bold pursuit of a climate-smart future for agriculture in Rwanda. At the heart of this initiative is Ireme Invest, a catalytic facility that embodies the Rwanda Green Fund's commitment to fostering green business growth and strengthening climate resilience. Through Ireme Invest, we are creating pathways to finance impactful ventures, de-risk innovation, and enable entrepreneurs to become central actors in Rwanda's green growth journey. This program is the result of a powerful partnership, bringing together the Rwanda Green Fund through Ireme Invest, the CGIAR Hub for Sustainable Finance, and the Accelerate for Impact platform as the technical implementing partners, alongside Impact Hub Africa, Impact Hub Kigali as the program facilitator. It wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for our partners, the Gates Foundation. So really want to appreciate, I know they're watching online, we really are grateful for the partnership with the Gates Foundation who have made this program happen today. Our journey to this moment has been both intentional and inspiring. I have to say that, walking around and listening to the different ideas that the ventures are putting forward, I have to say that it's really, really inspiring. And at the end of the day, some of you will win, others will not, but we're still here, and we really want to make sure that we can accompany you along the way and along the journey and see your businesses thrive. So today we stand ready to showcase innovative solutions that are not only ready to pitch, but ready to scale. In the room, we also have the bankers. I was telling them they need to come in front. I've seen Equity Bank, I&M, I don't know if BK is here. So we really hope that as the innovators are pitching here today, you can identify some, because yes, as the Rwanda Green Fund and through Ireme, our role really is to de-risk. But we also want to make sure that the innovators we are de-risking can scale, and that can only happen if we have the financial institutions coming on board. So the ventures you will hear from today operate across vital sectors of our agricultural economy, digital financial services for unbanked farmers, solar-powered cold storage and logistics, precision agriculture using AI and drone technologies, smart irrigation, climate-resilient livestock systems, and sustainable agri-processing. These innovations reflect not only technical excellence, but a deep commitment to solving real problems faced by smallholder farmers and agribusinesses in a changing climate. Again, to our capital providers in the room, your engagement today is more than welcomed. It is essential. The entrepreneurs are ready, their solutions are validated, de-risked, and aligned with national priorities. I invite you to connect with them, ask questions, and envision how your investment could thrive, both returns and sustainability. Let this day serve as a launching pad, not just for these ventures, but for deeper collaboration between the public and the private sector, who believe, as we do, that Rwanda's agricultural transformation must be inclusive, sustainable, and driven by innovation. Thank you, and let's get started.
Thank you, Teddy, for your insight. Next, please also welcome Enna Bentacourt, the Senior Engagement and Original Officer at CGIAR Hub for Sustainable Finance.
Thank you, everyone, and it is a pleasure for me to be here today to present some remarks on behalf of the CGIAR Hub for Sustainable Finance. So today we celebrate a convergence of science, innovation, finance in driving Rwanda's response to climate change. The AgriTech4Rwanda Innovation Challenge 2025 showcases entrepreneurs that are boldly transforming risks into opportunities for resilience and growth. Rwanda's agriculture is on the front line of climate shocks, and the solutions today are more than just incremental. They are science-driven solutions that can secure food systems and livelihoods for small-scale producers now and in the future. From smart water use, climate resilience production and processing, these entrepreneurs are demonstrating that adaptation to climate change can be both practical and investable. The CGIAR Hub for Sustainable Finance is proud to have accompanied this journey from the beginning. Our role has been really to bring climate analytics, our science, for de-risking the portfolio and ensuring that these solutions are context-specific, inclusive and impactful. Each company today who will be presenting is finance-ready and scalable, and a signal that Rwanda is actually leading the way in climate adaptation finance. And within this cohort, actually, we had the opportunity to develop M&E tools that really can document and quantify this potential impact. And this portfolio of 12 companies that you are looking at, if invested in, I'm also talking to the investors here in the room, they can generate more than $700,000 for farmers in terms of sales or in terms of reduced costing because of less inputs use or because of reduced post-harvest losses. They can reach more than 165,000 farmers, 67% of which are women. They can ensure more than 8,000 farmers are applying climate-smart solutions and practices. They can deploy these practices on over 3,000 hectares. And they can also contribute to avoided GHG emissions of more than 600,000 tons of CO2 equivalent. So I am advocating for them today to you investors in the room who are looking for impact. And this is a great pipeline, so please pay attention to them and open your wallets and checkbooks. To the entrepreneurs pitching today, it was a pleasure working with you from myself and the whole ImpactSF and CGIAR team. You were driven and you actually challenged us because you didn't want cookie cutter technical assistance or capacity building. You pushed us and we are grateful for that. And this actually reflects the nature of food systems because it's not one size fits all. It's really fragmented, but full of potential. So congratulations for having gotten this far and for your journey beyond today. So this initiative reflects a successful collaboration and shared commitment between ourselves and the Rwanda Green Fund. When we were designing the project at the beginning, we called it Climate Analytics to De-risk Adaptation Investment in Rwanda. I think that we made strides and we built a foundation on which we can move forward and scale. And then finally, we extend our deep gratitude to the Gates Foundation, without which this program wouldn't have been possible. Thank you very much, and good luck to all of the ventures.
Thank you, Anna, for more insights on the alignment of the CSA's practice with ventures growth. And now, to learn more about the program, I'm going to welcome Manzi Charis to give us some insight and show us a video. Welcome, Charis.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. I'll just get a clicker. Good morning, everyone. My name is Charis Manzi. I'm with the Impact Hub Kigali. We're also quite honored and privileged to be working with the partners that you just met to implement the AgriTech4Rwanda Innovation Challenge. I know I'm standing in the way of the pitches, so I'll try to make the presentation a bit quick. The idea is to give you a little bit more context of what led us to here. If this works. Maybe you could get support. Bear with us. That's me. Maybe in a moment you can put the presentation. The idea is to basically walk you through how the journey from the program. As you know, we launched the call for applications back in March, and that was disseminated across the country, and it attracted around 263 applications. And together with partners, we were able to basically trickle down the number of applications to 25 that attended boot camp. Have a nice slide, I promise you. Maybe you could bear with us. But maybe I could speak from the Impact Hub Kigali perspective. This program aligns quite well not only with the government's ambitions in promoting the agriculture and food systems in general, but also for our perspective in terms of supporting ventures and really positioning them to be able to scale, both with technical support plus funding from the different partners that we work with. It looks like the slide is up. If I could get the clicker. Yay. Okay, cool. So it seems like it's working, or there's a delay. Cool. So as maybe some of the partners have alluded to, the program had objectives to not only look for, but to support AgriTech innovations, the 12 of which you will be able to see in the room pitching today. But the idea is also to support these innovations, but in the end, empower smallholder farmers through transferring the technology and innovations that these ventures have. Look at strengthening the linkages between different ecosystem players. That's why you heard we have investors, we have banks, we have insurance in the room. The idea is to bring and strengthen together these linkages in the end to support the innovations. And then there is specific value chains that we're also looking at and priority areas that all these solutions have to fall into. These are the priority areas that the program was looking at. So anywhere from post-harvest solutions to irrigation, to resilient livestock systems, to solutions that have climate and weather services towards smallholder farmers, to solutions that are tackling post-harvest losses. And this is what I had kind of started. So around in March 18th, that's when the program was launched, the call for applications. And this was shared across all the channels through the partners and different networks. And then that attracted on April 30th. By April 30th, when we closed, we had already received 263 applications. And these, together with partners, we were able to select, looking at, of course, solutions that are aligned with the priority sectors that were in the previous slide, innovativeness of the solutions, looking at their teams, assessing potential, their financials and everything. And this is through the documents they had submitted in the application portal. And from that, we were able to select 25 ventures that went through a boot camp in early June. The boot camp was a 3-day intensive endeavor where the 25 then pitched their solutions, and we selected 12 that have gone an intensive acceleration over the past few months, and that has led up to today to pitch. And from today, of course, the next stage will be selecting up to 5 that then will unlock the repayable grants. Maybe to echo to what Teddy said earlier, this is from the program perspective, but for investors and bankers in the room today, this is your chance to connect with the venture. Being a leader, and then also impact measurement frameworks as well. And that was throughout, we're also aimed to bring other ecosystem players to be able to provide learning talks and different conversations as further exposure for the ventures that were at that stage of the program. And then they pitched, and then we selected the 12 that you will get to hear from today. So for the 12, that led us to the acceleration, if the clicker will allow me. There you go. Cool. So with the acceleration, you can think closer to being able to be investment ready, to being able to not only unlock the program funding, but also be ripe and ready to access any other funding that any other partners that may come to you. And with the needs assessment, we're also looking at assessing specifically the climate smart adaptation angle, and as well already set baselines for impact measurement that Anna had already alluded to. And then from that, based on those priority sectors, then we provide one-on-one tailored technical support. And over the last few months, we were able to provide about a combined 180 hours across the entire cohort. And in parallel, ImpactSF and the partners are also providing master classes that are quite CSA aligned. So looking at climate change awareness and the different CSA approaches that the ventures can employ in their businesses, looking at impact measurement, but also specifically how to include a gender responsive approach for their solutions. For those that have a tech component, understanding a little bit more how to utilize AI to scale their climate solutions, as well as then looking at how do you unlock climate capital once that your CSA aligned, and how can you potentially also repay the potential grants, yeah? And then in the last few months as well, the program team was able to also conduct due diligence. This is also in terms of assessing in a very proper and fair manner. So going to the fields of operation and try to see your solutions in action, potentially talk to your customers so that we're able to understand a bit better what the solution is, what the business is, and the potential impact it has on the larger food system sector and the impact on the smallholder farmer resilience. And again, in parallel, all the ventures that you will hear today, they submitted their proposals for funding. So that gives them an opportunity to detail not only how much they're going to be asking for, but how they're potentially going to repay that, but as well also indicate how that helps them align not only on climate smart adaptation approaches, but also how does that scale their business. And then that leads up to today. So you will hear, of course, the pitches. And the idea in terms of assessment, to give you a bit more context. So with the due diligence, these are the findings that we saw on the field. Each venture will be assigned a score. Their proposals, along with their financials and the different documents, that will also be assigned a score. And then today, the esteemed judges that are here will assign a score for the pitch. And then the partners will sit down in the next few weeks and combine basically all these scores to be able to inform us in a very detailed manner, clear manner of who the top 5 can be to then unlock the 300 million. Yeah? Awesome. So that's how we got here. Cool. Yes, thank you. And before maybe we're going to show you a quick video that kind of also recaps what I just shared with you.
The AgriTech4Rwanda Innovation Challenge is truly unique, and we've been able to design one-stop center in which agribusinesses could be able to find all the necessary support.
We have been supporting those companies with one-on-one technical tailored support, starting by a business diagnostic, followed by a needs assessment to understand exactly the problem or what they needed to scale the solution.
And since these are small ventures at this point in time, they they need to focus on other priorities, like raising capital for their company, creating a market share. Through this accelerator program, it's a very good opportunity for companies to rely on us to do the science and the literature rather than them setting up their own research unit. So they can rely on our research insights to build their products and businesses. So that has been the unique thing in my perspective.
So what is really unique about the program is that we're offering a repayable grant to the businesses. And what it is in simple terms, it is a zero interest loan. And really, it is helping us showcase the repayment capability of the businesses that we'll be able to select, because we truly want them to stand out.
We want to see them scale. We want to see them be investment readiness. We want to see them reaching a next level of operations, expand markets.
This is the best time to build a business in Rwanda, not only in terms of making money, of financial viability, but also generating impact. And this is the perfect case through this accelerator program.
This is AgriTech4Rwanda.
Our dear esteemed judges, we have 4 minutes to ask them questions. And Speaking of the judges, we are honored today to have expertise, experience, all present here on our table with the judges. And please welcome, help me to, wow. Please help me to welcome the judge, and I'm also going to be introducing the judges to you. First, we have Esther Kunda, Director General, Innovation and Emerging Technology at Ministry of ICT and Innovation. If you could please wave to the guests. And we have Christian Awijuru, Head of Business Banking at I&M Bank. We also have Susanna, Science Valorization and Market Strategy Consultant at CGIAR Accelerate for Impact Platform. We also have Fred Mustinzi, Strategic Advisor at the Tony Blair Institute for Global Change. Dear guest, now we are pleased to have you here, and you may also have the seats. We already have the seats. But then, buckle up, because, that's why I said, buckle up, because you're going to go through amazing pitches. And also get your phone closer, your checkbook, because again, we are about to invest and support ventures here to improve the climate smart actions. Without further ado, I'm going to welcome the first pitch of the day. We are going to be hearing from François from Agahozo Farm. François, please join me on the stage.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I'm François Tsengyumva from Agahozo Farm. I think the creek is not working well. Oh, wow. Okay, thank you so much. I'm François from Agahozo Farm. Agahozo Farm is climatic smart agribusiness working in Rwanda. And we work in farming in greenhouses farming, where we are farming tomatoes and using irrigation system, solar-powered irrigation system in our farm. Agahozo Farm is addressing drought, heat stress, and pests and diseases that mainly affect our farmers in Rwanda, where we may receive erratic rainfall in Rwanda, but Agahozo Farm has come with different solutions. It's not working. Okay, thank you so much. Agahozo Farm has come in on table with different solutions. Our solutions with Agahozo Farm is application of greenhouse farming. So we are farming tomatoes in greenhouse, which includes yield from 3 to 5. And also another solution as Agahozo we are bringing is solar irrigation system, which is affordable and saves water using. Also, in addition, as Agahozo Farm with solar cold room uses, which reduces the losses from 40% to below 10%. Thank you so much. Our business model as Agahozo aligning with climate care or environmental care, where all our business as it grows from 2025 to 2027, we also align with avoiding the emission of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, in the climate. Next. Thank you so much. As Agahozo Traction and Impact, Agahozo has avoided 46,000 tons of carbon dioxide. Also, Agahozo has served 300 customers, including hotels, supermarkets, and local farmers. Also, Agahozo has raised or has increased the economy of local farmers by buying them or importing to us fertilizers. Also, Agahozo has contributed to unemployment, where we have 23 and plus fixed job, including women and youth. Agahozo Farm funding ask is 3 million Rwandan francs. 300 million Rwandan francs, where 40% will be used in contracting 6 smart greenhouses with help in other activities, and 30% 15 solar panels, 3 solar-powered cold rooms, and 10% for e-mobility transportation. By scaling and repayment of this loan or this grant, Agahozo Farm has already projected our scaling and repayment of our grant, where this 2025, it will be a grace period. Thank you so much for making that grace period. 2026 will be starting by paying 30 millions from this revenue will be raised to 76 millions, and 2027, 2028, 2030, where we'll be completing paying the grant or the loan will be given. So as Agahozo, we thank you for this opportunity you have given to us to present our activity. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Great presentation. I just had a quick question regarding your current impact. You mentioned that so far you've contributed to 23 jobs, but there was no mention of actual amounts. Do you mind sharing any current revenues that you have right now at the moment? And because everything else I saw was projections.
Okay, thank you so much. I have, in 2025, Agahozo is now in the middle of 54 millions of revenue raising. We have been working in Gasabo district, but we have already migrated to Bugesera, where we are scaling up our business. So from Bugesera, we have worked, from Gasabo, we have worked from January to March. That is the amount you are calculating from January to March. And in 25, we'll be harvesting from October, November, and December. Means there will be addition where our revenue will reach to 54 millions.
Oh, so the 54 is not to date. It's still a projection.
Yes, by now we have 18 millions in our account and working on it. And in those coming 3 years, we'll be completing our revenue scale of Agahozo, reaching to 54 million.
What's your profit margin there?
Thank you.
What's your profit margin for?
Our profit margin of Agahozo throughout the year, we may reach through our calculations, expenses, and the other funds from Agahozo we are getting, we may reach to 50 and 25 millions of Rwandan francs, where we have expended and leave all expenses aside. Thank you.
So 54 is the net revenue after expenses, or?
In this year, as we are in expansion and scaling of our business, 54 will be the revenue with expenses. Okay. Because we have spent much in scaling, building new greenhouses, building new scaling, and investing in new workers. Means those 54 are still in expenses and operation system. Yes.
So what is your net revenue after?
After the expenses, as Agahozo, we have calculated the net revenue that will be is 32 millions of this year. Yes, okay. As we have calculated for Agahozo.
So I've seen you are projecting a bit of, I think, more than 1,000% growth, which is really impressive and very good for you. So how many greenhouses do you have now compared to the 6 you are planning to?
Yes. Agahozo, currently we have one greenhouse which is going up 16 to 30 meters. So means it is producing much compared to the smaller greenhouses we had at Gasabo. But now we have brewed a big greenhouses, and it's one, and we want to scale to 6, 7, 30 greenhouses compared to our scale calendar.
I have a question on two things. One, so you're going to own all the greenhouses, and then on your projection, you were saying that you would start doing repayment. Are you confident that by mid-2026 you have operationalized all the greenhouses, like constructed, put up, and done all the operationalization?
Thank you so much. Through the repayment, Agahozo has been in this business from 2020, doing the business and farming in the greenhouses. And from now, as we are doing, as we have one greenhouses, and the scaling impact of Agahozo has shown us that in 2026, as we have 5 to 6 greenhouses, we'll be starting by paying. As you have seen, the income level or the revenue level of Agahozo rising, we also impose that if you have 54 millions, when you have not worked in 6 months, and you still have all counts 54 millions. What about when you work in a whole year with 6 greenhouses? So we'll have a good impact. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Francois. And for our guest, I get you might have some questions. Please note them down. And when we have the networking, you may get to ask this question to the ventures and also get to know more about their business. And as you've just done so for Francois, I invite you to keep giving your undivided attention. And also please welcome Teddy from Charis to also give us their pitch.
Thank you. My name is Teddy Segore, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer at Charis. Next, please. Next slide, please. Meet Mrs. Betty, a smallholder farmer from Musanze district, who, like millions of other farmers across the country and across Africa, live on the front line of climate-related shocks. Every season, she will struggle with unexpected rain, pest outbreak, and because she doesn't have an idea of what exactly is happening on her field in terms of the health of her crop, she's unable to use correctly or efficiently the inputs by applying the fertilizers and the pesticide blindly. Now, imagine what that has on the financial impact of Mrs. Betty. She can go into debt, and she doesn't have, it also has an impact on the more local market she's able to service and also the food security at large. Next slide. Now imagine a different story. With Charis drones and AI-powered advisories, Betty no longer lives in the guess of what's happening in the field. With a drone flight, she's able to receive real data on the health of her crop and know exactly where those crop stresses are coming from. And with our drone spraying system, the drone is able to apply the exact amount of fertilizers and input where it's needed, which is giving Betty an efficient and faster result. It's giving her healthier crops and also protecting her from harmful exposure. Someone may ask, does this thing really work? Let's look at the next slide. We participated in a willing to pay and cost-benefit analysis on wheat and potato farmers in Musanze district. And the goal of this survey was to investigate whether farmers who used drone-based advisory services from us were able to increase yield, also their income, and we also compared it to those who didn't use those services and also measure their willingness to pay for that service. Guess what? The farmers who used our drone-based advisory services testify of an increase both in yield and net income. And we also saw that there was 100% willingness of those farmers to pay for that service. Next slide. We are asking for 300 million Rwandan francs, which will be allocated in the purchase of drones, spare parts, batteries, and also the enhancement of our platform. And with the payment plan within 3 years, expecting a 20% growth every year. Next year, next slide. Now, by year 5, our scaling plan is to reach more than 100,000 farmers, also including women and youth, and also leveraging on the strategic partnership we have with BK Tech House to unlock actionable insights and scale farmer engagement. Now, this scaling plan also sets a foundation of a long-term sustainability.
Thank you so much. Now we're going to hear from the judges.
Thank you for the pitch. Very good one. I was interested in understanding more about the pricing, because you said from your pilots they are willing to pay, but I didn't get the business
Our
model.
pricing model is per hectare. So we basically charge $40 per hectare, which, so we basically charge the drone as a service and also the software as a service for farmers to be able to access these additional advisory services.
Sorry, just a follow-up. Your target market is more large-scale farmers, or?
Both large-scale farmers and also farmers who can be incorporated into cooperatives. So we're also targeting smallholder farmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any paying customers at the moment?
Yes, we do have paying customers. And actually, maybe something I didn't mention, last year we made 200 million from the agricultural services that we provided to our agricultural clients. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I'd like to know the capacity of your drone and the 300 million. I mean, the costs, you know, to acquire the drone, to be able to know how many will you be able to get, and how many do you have now?
Okay. Currently, we have a fleet of about 40 drones, and those. And the target, obviously, since we want to reach more than 100,000 farmers, we are looking at not getting less than 100 drones. But the 41 I spoke about is in general with all the other services we provide. Those that are specific for the agricultural sector, there are around 10 of them. Yeah. And 100, not less than 100 drones. And obviously, we also have the spare parts that are included into that, the batteries that go with them, and the enhancement of the platform that we want to do, yeah.
Thank you. Of the 200 million you made last year, how much profit was that?
Sorry?
How much profit did you make off the 200?
The profit was around 10% from it.
And how easy is it to really convey and teach? Because a lot of your business really revolves around people believing that this exists. Obviously, this is a new, whenever you think drones, you're talking to smallholder farmers who might not necessarily understand the tech part. How much time do you actually spend teaching and educating everyone to actually use this?
Okay. The time is not really that long. So usually what we do, actually when we started actually speaking about from the willingness to pay and the cost-benefit analysis. So when we started training these farmers on the benefits of this technology, it actually didn't take more than a month for them to understand the benefits. But of course, the advantages and the results came after a season. But the technology adoption was not that difficult because they understood the benefit that would come from it.
Is there anyone else in this space that uses drones? Or is it just you?
I believe there are, but in this space, I believe we are the only ones who can operate at the scale at which.
So if I was able to get access to a couple of drones and a few pilots, I should be able to start spraying and competing against you.
So our technology is just beyond spraying these inputs, right? Like I did mention, we are introducing this AI-powered solution, which is able even to detect those problems within the field, and not everyone is able to do this at this point. So based on that solution, we're now able to carry out targeted intervention by spraying. Yeah,
but there's nothing really proprietary that you have that no one else can essentially build. So someone else can come in from...
No, we do have our own platform that we built internally as Charis to be able to...
Thank you so much. Thank you to the judges and also Teddy. Our next pitch is going to be from Steve, hailing from Exos. Steve, welcome.
Good morning. I tell stories for a living. That's what I've been told. So I'm here to talk about AI for lending for resilience farming. Next, please. Next. And the time is clocking, by the way. Yes, so this is Kanziga and Ernestine. So Kanziga belongs to a group, and and she's a smallholder farmer. So Kanziga has two problems. One is getting money to buy agro inputs for every planting season. But at the same time, when there are issues around rainfall or climate change, sometimes she thinks maybe she's being punished by God because of the things she did wrong in that particular season. And she doesn't know really why and what she should do to really protect herself. Now you have Ernestine on the other side, who's an agent. She goes around educating the likes of Kanziga about financial inclusion. Next, please. Oh, yes. So we're using AI really to leverage technology, not only to access financial services or capital, but also to really grow the risk profile of these smallholder farmers, but also raise the awareness about climate-related issues. This is our product. It's called Save. It's a digital app. Climate resilience-related matters. We make money in three ways. Through transaction subscription fees, we charge interest rate on our microloans, and we also earn commissions on microinsurance. We work with NGOs and agent network to acquire our customers. So this is what we're targeting as far as impact is related. So we are targeting over 150,000 people to access green finances. And we're also looking at empowering over 100,000 smallholder farmers to really access or adopt CSA practices. And we are looking at increasing the yield at 30% of the current yield that they have. And also using technology. This is Gen AI, chat or voice AI to really access some of the information about climate. This is our traction. We already have over 200,000 users on our platform, so we really want to scale our product. We have also growth plans, be it with our partners. We work with banks and insurance partners to really, not only insurance, but also to grow our insights from a data perspective. Zepri owns Eka Africa, which is really experienced in climate data related matters. Over 30 years of combined experience from the team. This is myself, my CTO, and a CFO, and we have what it takes to take the team to the next level. So these are people we've worked with, be it partners or clients, and we're really looking forward to leverage AI and technology to really enable Kanziga and Ernestine to access not only capital, but also more knowledge and information about climate-related issues. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Steve. Now we're going to hear or welcome judges' questions.
Thank you very much. I wanted to ask on, in terms of the use of the 300 million, is the entire amount going to be used for microloans?
85% is going to be used for microloans. The other 20% is going to be used to enhance our data profile. We've got our own scoring engine, proprietary scoring engine, that really scores these smallholder farmers. And traditionally, it's been focusing on the financial data. So we want to now grow it on the side of now climate-related issue, weather data, all of that, so that now we combine it to really build a strong profile for these people.
Have you already started giving out these microloans?
Yes.
And what's your default rate at the moment?
So we work with these groups. So these groups already have internal lending schemes, which is what we build on to build the scoring profiles. So the groups themselves, they have an NPL that's below 10%. And the loans we've put out already, we've recovered data to 99.9%. So far it's good. And then we use these groups as a guarantor or a risk mitigation factor, because these groups we work with, they already engage in some sort of financial transactions and lending amongst themselves. So we come in really to complement whatever it is that they've been doing before.
I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, I think that 3.5% per month is quite high.
No, it's not. I'll tell you why. You know more cash. You know how much they charge? 9.
Okay.
So we benchmarked. And then the way we look at these loans, these are micro loans, so repayable in 3 months. And these groups are already charging amongst themselves 5 to 10% per month. So we did some sort of benchmarking, and it really falls within the, I would say, their bracket. And one of the reasons we're here, because if we are to go to I&M or the likes of the banks here, it would be another story.
Okay.
So this is why this grant will even help us de-risk the lending for these particular smallholder farmers.
So in terms of sustainability,
yes,
going forward, since you're using the bulk of the cash to use it to essentially sell it,
yes,
will you use those proceeds to essentially sustain yourself going forward?
Yeah, there's that, but also is to also show the financial institution that this is actually lucrative. We did a survey for the Central Fund for these groups. They were moving about 13 million, rather 16 million USD. That's about 17 billion Rwandan francs in micro savings every month, and doing about 13 billion Rwandan francs. So these groups, they're already engaged in business. It's just that most of them are pretty much manual. So what we're bringing them in the digital world, and then also using that to really profile them, so that now, be it ourselves, because we are licensed NDFI, but also even other financial institutions that are willing to take the risk to really come and work with these groups. Because their NPL is really low, because their structure allows them to hold each other accountable, and these are people that know each other. So they don't allow outsiders to come into these groups. They already know themselves, and they've set structures that allow them to minimize the NPLs.
So the likes of those INM and other
yes.
banks wouldn't join, and if you start really making money.
So what they will do, usually they can either lend through us, because we are licensed in DFI, so they can give us a facility which we can on lend as they try to get comfortable with the whole structure, or they can lend directly to these people. But eventually they grow. And we also look at ourselves as a bridge where now these now unbanked, they can now transition to become banked customers for financial service providers.
Yeah, how long have you been operating?
What's that?
How long have you been operating?
Since 2020. We are in all 30 districts, mostly outside of Kigali, and we're counting over 250,000 users currently.
Yeah, you're missing I&M logo. So.
Thank you very much.
Next. Okay. Next, we're going to hear from Jean-Claude, but as we welcome him, Jean-Claude is hailing from Faminga. As we welcome him, I would like to invite our judges to turn off their microphone because of the echo is disturbing. Now we have Jean-Claude from Faminga. Please, the stage is yours.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jean-Claude. I am the CEO and founder at Faminga. At Faminga, we are solving three main problems that farmers face, which is lack of the information to make data-driven decisions, technology gap to help them become climate resilient, and access to the post-harvest solutions. We have a solution. We have built a technology that can help farmers monitor their soil, know what the soil needs and what the plants needs. And we have AI model that can detect diseases and can help the farmers with the insight. We have a platform, and we also have a technology which is easy, plug and play, and we have a flexible payment. And what differentiates us is that our technology is in the local languages. We are targeting smallholder farmers through cooperatives and agribusinesses, helping them to increase their yield, reduce the cost, that's inputs, and become resilient to the climate change. Our business model is simple. Farmers can buy our soil sensors. They can pay in instrument, or they can pay as they go. Businesses can use our platform. They can pay subscription. We have a free tire, normal, and plug. The opportunity is huge. Our technology has been developed so that it can be expanded to neighboring countries without further investment. And when you look at the other solutions on the market that is providing the same solution that we have, You can see that we are for Africa. We work on offline, which is crucial for rural areas and remote. We are in multiple languages, of course, African languages, and we have a 5 years plan. We have a plan to pay this money. We have a plan to grow and expand our solution. We have attraction since we started. We've been nominated for different programs, and all those have helped us to really define our solution that solving the real pain that the farmers face. We have a team of younger innovators, 45 years combined. And we have advisors in each sectors that we operate in technology, in business, in AI, geospatial data, and remote sensing. We are asking 250 million to really scale, to deploy our technology, to reach more farmers, but also to manufacture those sensors locally here in Rwanda. And please, invest in a high potential AgriTech platform ready to scale in Africa.
Thank you for your pitch. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
I welcome the judges to also do the post their questioning.
Thank you. Going back to the traction slide, you have more than 2,000 farmers on board. How many are these are paying customers? Can you give us an idea of paying customers at the moment?
Yeah, we have 120 paying customers, that are individual customers, but we also have 3 cooperatives that are paying for their members. That meaning one cooperative has over, the maximum cooperative has 1,500 farmers.
And how long have they been your paying customers?
We started charging this year.
Okay.
Last year, we did not really charge the cooperatives and subscription for the platform, but we have sold the soil sensors.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you go back to your revenue slide? No, there you go. So, if I'm reading this correctly, you're projecting to have
deploy our technology, grow our team, but the following year, you can see that we will be able to really start paying because our projection shows how the money will be flowing.
So I see a huge jump from 26 to 2027.
Yes.
Can you walk me through how you'll be able to, I can't even, yeah, that's from 12 to 700 million.
Yes.
In 12 months.
This is really challenging because when you see how we acquire customers, when we onboard one cooperative may have over 2,000 farmers. And those are the clients they pay for. So the cooperative pay for those members, but those cooperatives has many farmers. That's why we decided to go through the cooperatives because they are a group of the farmers so that we can reach more customers in short period.
Are you equipped to receive such a huge jump in revenue to be able to actually support all those new clients that you'll have?
That's why we are here. That's one reason that we are here. We are raising funds to really expand, deploy technology because we are using AI and IoT. We want to really deploy those technology, have a gateway in each district of Rwanda, have enough agents that will really help on daily basis with the farmers.
Can you let me know, like, today in 2025, what's your current revenue as of today? And then also, what's your cost of production for the sensors that you put in a farm?
Thank you. So far, our net revenue is 15 million currently, and the sensors, we have 3 types of sensors. We have one for irrigation that can monitor temperature and the moisture. And we have one that can monitor soil nutrients. And we have all-in-one. One costs around 75,000, and we add 100% markup. That means the cost will be, selling price will be 150,000 Rwandan flags, which is actually affordable compared to other.
Thank you for your answers, and thank you for your questions. Our next speech, we're going to hear from Jean-Baptiste from Fisher Global.
Thank you very much. Good morning, everyone. My name is Jean-Baptiste from the Fisher Global. We do chili production, drying, and export to different various markets. Here, we have a list of partners, including our main buyers from China, especially, and we have other buyers from India and other potential markets that we are exploring. The main hindrance that we are facing is the post-harvest loss that from different source of information, but also from our own side, where we are losing not less than 20 to 30%. And this is creating imbalances in terms of smallholder farmers' income, but also at the business performance level. That is why through these changing climate effects, including heat stress and regular rainfalls and other challenges, we are actually losing. And the solution that we are anticipating is to have a 200 tons solar-cooled storage facility to mitigate those challenges and also become a solution to counter the loss that previously were shown in the slide. And through this system, we are going to also lower emission transport because from the production side up to the drying and storage facility, there is 80% that will be reduced in terms of emission due to the transport. And all along the journey, we are also upgrading our quality of the produce, which means the market preference, because the more you dry the chili and before the market, when you keep it at a lower temperature, it is also preserving the quality on the market. The anticipation again is to add more value on what we are doing by promoting farmers' resilience to the shocks of the climate change, by increasing the market return, and also by satisfying our markets who has been increasing all over the past period. Next. The thing that we are doing is to respond to the market size, where this investment that we are looking for of about $200,000 will increase our market penetration and also on the market target, where up to the end we'll have attained huge export revenues, which is going to be partitioned for us as a company, but also our suppliers who are smallholder farmers, more than 3,000 that we are working with. And in terms of impact, we are, with this new investment that we are looking at, we are going to increase the number of...
Thank you so much for your presentation. We welcome the questions from the judges.
Yeah, thank you so much. Could you please elaborate more on your business model? Are you going to be buying from small farmers and then export, or you'll be also giving them the service of, let's say, the cold rooms and drying?
Thank you. Normally, we do production, and also we have contracted smallholder farmers. This is the business that is now 4 years old, working with farmers directly. We supply seeds, we provide technical assistance, and then we buy everything they produce from them. That is what we do to give you assurance.
Do you currently have any cold storage?
No. We have the normal codes. We have the normal warehouse where we store our produce. As you go to the mini show outside, you will see the quality of our produce. And our anticipation is to have the cold storage because it helps us to preserve the quality of the produce, but also relax on the stress to go directly to the market because it increases the huge cost in short timeline, which also have a reverse effect on the farmer's performance.
Got it. It's a very competitive space. There's a lot of people doing cold storage rooms.
You see? No?
There's a lot of people doing the cold storage here in Rwanda.
Yes.
Are you doing anything different from them, or because also they're very expensive and they break? What happens once you buy their very expensive equipment and they break?
Thank you very much. Actually, this is not the normal small cold storage system because that is done especially for the fresh produce. While for us, it is a cold storage warehouse. It is a normal warehouse, big of 200 tons, because the inspection to store at least 200 tons, and that is dried chili. That dried chili comes from 800 tons of fresh chili. You can understand that the current storage system here in Rwanda that are cooling are not on our side because where we have copied is where we deliver our chili at our buyer side in China. But they relax when we supply, they relax with their chili. Then for us, it is not easy to control the market, and it has the market effect because we are pressurized to immediately deliver the chili at the moisture content that we have with it after the drying.
Of the 4.2 million that you mentioned every year, how much of that market do you have?
The market we have is...
Can you go back to the previous slide? One more again. One more. There you go, there. Of the export revenue, how much of that do you currently have of the chili?
Thank you. From January to June this year, we have been able to secure about $700,000 in terms of export. And the journey is still continuing because as we are planting now for this season A, we are also shipping the remains of this year of 2025. 2024, we have been able to export up to about $1 million.
Yeah, yes. I noted you are paying back in 2 years, which is really impressive.
Yes.
What is your margin?
We talk about 2 years because with our normal lending, when we have between 2 to 300 million, it is repaid in 1 year. That is why having this money as a repayable grant without added interests, we'll be able to repay up to in 2 years, just 2 installments.
How much do you make per year?
What?
Currently, what is your net profit per year?
It varies, but net profit after all deductions, after even paying the taxes, is between 60 to 70 million.
Up next, we are going to hear from Sharon, who's presenting about issue.
Hello everyone, my name is Akanyana Sharon and I'm the Managing Director at Isho Foods. Isho Foods is a dairy processing company and we're an established brand in a highly competitive market. We are proud to have increased our revenues in the past few years with an increase of more than 100% for the last 2 years. What drove this increase in revenues is the introduction of new products onto the market, and especially our very popular Greek yogurt. But even though it increased revenues for us, it generates a lot of whey. This is whey. For all of us who do not know what whey is a byproduct of dairy processing, and it's not good for the soils. When it's discarded untreated, it causes a lot of degradation to the soil. And given that our soils in Rwanda are even highly acidic. Yeah, so yogurt processing is not the only thing that generates a lot of whey, even cheese processing. For example, this 900 grams of cheese generates a lot of whey, not good for our soils. A couple of figures here. In 2023, Rwanda produced 3,000 tons of cheese, which is good. However, we discarded about 27 million liters of whey. Again, very, very bad. Loss for the company, us and other companies, and also bad for the soil and water bodies. We've decided to work on an economic and sustainable way of transforming this whey into very yummy and healthy beverages. Here they are. We have smoothies, we have desserts, and you'll have a minute to test them. And they are made out of 50% to 70% whey, high in protein for all the gym goers, and eco-friendly, and also affordable and accessible. Yeah, so with the current products that we have, we are making about this year, by end of this year, we'll be making about 800 million. And then we're not yet there yet, but with these new products that we'll have introduced to the market, it will be an additional 280 million. And not only that, we'll be having impact because we'll be sourcing this way from us also, but also from 2 other cooperatives and 5 other cheese processing companies. Also will be contributing towards food safety and improved nutrition. We're seeking for 300 million and we'll use it 100% to buy equipment for processing and packaging. We'll also have a contribution. The operational cost will be by us and also our revenues to reinvest in this project. We will be paying back negotiable but 1 year after we've put the products onto the market. Sustainably, will this be sustainable? Yeah, we work with 3 supermarkets that we provide to. So export opportunity and all here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. It sounds like it's a great way to use, tap into whatever was actually being lost. I'm curious, is this anyone else doing this? Or you the first person capitalizing on the way that is lost?
In Rwanda, we are the only ones, but there are 2 others in Kenya.
Okay. So I'm curious, since your business has been growing well over the past couple of years, why would you want to venture into something totally new? Why don't you just stick to what has been working for you?
So yeah, like I said, we are gaining success in the market we are growing, but also it's a very competitive market. So we need to differentiate products. We're also working on cream, we're keep working on cheese in the future, but this is also a good way of doing it. Since we know people buy whey in the form of powder, so why not tap into it?
Yeah, new products to probably a new market. I'm talking about new consumers. So how do you plan to penetrate? Normally it's a bit difficult when people don't know the products, and what is your strategies?
I agree. We'll need to do a lot of awareness. We'll have to do a lot of marketing. We'll invest in that also. But the good thing is that people already know our brand, so we'll leverage on that. And also, yeah, we'll do a lot of marketing and awareness.
So it's part of what you'll contribute to as well? Because you said mostly 100% is going to CapEx, to machines. So
yeah, so that will be part of our contribution towards this.
Right.
Yeah, maybe follow up on what he asked. Do you already have some customer insight in this new product or not? Not at all.
So it's still under development. These are samples that we've worked on. Yeah, so we'll do a lot.
Did you have people tested something or not?
We did,
really?
yeah.
What's the feedback?
So some of them we needed to reduce a bit of sugar. We needed to make them more tangy, and it's still under development, and we'll make it right. We'll make the recipes right to be able to put them on the market. So there's still a lot of work to be done, but we have hope and faith that it will go well onto the market.
Do you have a clear timeline? Do you know when you will
So for example, we'll also be working with gyms. We know there are people who buy whey, people who go to the gym, and also pharmacies and supermarkets sell powdered whey. So if we have it in a fresh form, in the form of a smoothie, of a dessert, Yeah.
And can you tell us a bit more about this partnership you mentioned?
With Arla. Arla is a Danish company, and they are the ones that are advanced in processing whey. And we are already in touch with them. They visited us, and they'll support us along the way. We even used their laboratory assistance to make this.
Okay.
They've supported Pakistan, cheese processors in Pakistan, in doing this. So we're not alone.
Thank you.
Have you made any money using?
Not yet. With this, not yet.
In terms of timing and timeline, what's your estimation on when you can actually have a product ready for the market?
So as soon as we buy the machinery and everything, so that will take about 6 months, 3 to 4 months, about a year. If all goes well, less, but longest, 1 year.
Thank you so much, Sharon, and also for bringing your products. Up next, we are going to hear from Christian, who is going to be telling us about Isaro.
Thank you so much. My name is Christian Gasaro from Isawi Connect. At Isawi Connect, we don't plant trees. We grow trees with data driven to support smallholder farmers. Why are we growing trees with data? Because around 70% of tree planted initiative lack of tree monitoring system, which end up not knowing the progress of tree planting initiatives. Also, it's affecting smallholder farmers. Almost less than 1% of African smallholder farmers access to carbon market because of missing monitoring, reporting, verification tools. We are solving this issue by developing the MRV that is targeting agroforestry practice that is solving the issue farmers there facing. We are providing pre and post planting, real-time monitoring, using different tools. We develop mobile app, we are using usage code and other tools to keep tracking health and growth of this tree planted. Not only tracking, we visualize these trees using API. But tools are not enough. Also, we are training our green agent who are using the mobile app to keep supporting the farmer to access weather guidance, measure tree carbon at tree level, and access the market. Business model, we are partnering with the companies, with the organization, with the CSR and ECG program to buy a tree at $2 with the different benefits, including seedlings and monitoring. The impact, we are not planting trees alone. We are providing job where we're having about 9 green agents. We are restoring almost 500 hectares. Also, we have onboarded 37 companies that we are working together. We are asking 126 million for nursery expansion, enhancing our data, enhancing AI data and product engineering. We are planning to pay, starting from next year, paying 10 million and keep moving forward in the next 5 years. Sustainability, next year we want to reach across country, but we are not stop. We don't want to stop here. Ecoforest is for African smallholder farmers. Want to expand where we are targeting to reach 8 million trees monitoring.
Thank you so much, Christian. Now we're going to welcome questions from our judges.
Thank you. Could you tell us who's buying these trees?
The buyer currently we are having is organization with the CSR profile and ECG program, or any organization like NGO that are involving in tree planting activity. But for NGOs, they are buying our solution as software as services. But for companies with CSR, they buy a tree at $2 to support the farmer, where farmer is not paying anything. And we are selling 2,000 trees per month currently.
So it's targeted towards NGOs that are buying these trees.
Not only NGOs, companies like insurance companies, banking, many companies, even small companies, they are buying around 30 trees per month to compensate or to offset their impact, because they keep tracking their impact and visualizing direct to their digital platform.
How much revenue do you have so far?
So far, on monthly basis, we are selling almost 2,000 trees, which is around 5 million to 6 million per month.
So the 37 companies you had in the traction are your existing?
Yes, these are the companies that we are working now, not mentioning the company that we are going to work with us in next planting seasons.
Okay. Maybe a question on the scaling plan that you have. Like these companies that you are working with, where are they from?
We have local companies like CGIAR, Crystal Venture. We are having another bank that we are going to plant 20,000 this upcoming season, and other small companies. Also, we are attracting international companies to invest in Rwanda by supporting the farmer, because they are capable to track and keep visualizing their data and seeing what their tree is doing on the ground.
Okay. And when it comes to the scaling plan, you had some plans in 2028 to go also to Kenya, Uganda. How do you envision that, and what does it take for you to go?
It's simple. It's only translating, because our mobile app is being used by smallholder farmers, which is in Uganda. To go in Kenya, we only need to translate it in Kiswahili. The money we are looking now is to help us to keep expanding and getting more money to invest in other countries.
Do you have any plan to cross-sell other products to your subscribers? I'm talking about farmers.
Yes. The reason why we mentioned the product engineering, currently we are collecting the data of only the trees. But with this support, we were able to collect the data of across the ecosystem or across the farm, where we collect the data. Even it can help financial institutions to provide the loan, or helping the insurance companies. Yes, that is the data that we want to collect from, not only for trees, for across the farm.
Can you go again on what type of data are you collecting, and what is that data used for at the moment? Is it only CO2?
We are collecting data, environmental data, economic data, and social data. All of this data is related to the carbon sequestration, how much carbon is sequestrated at a single tree, what the economic output, what they harvest. We are collecting many data, but it's environmental, social, and economic data.
Thank you so much for telling us about trees. Our next speech, you're going to hear from Kenneth, who's going to be telling us about Kumba Insight.
All right, so my name is Kenneth, Managing Director of Kumba Insights, and I will be briefly explaining about Kumba, what we do. Let's try. No? Do I need to stand over here? Okay, here we go. Yeah, no problem. So, literally Kuma, we are all about fighting climate change, and we do that through data. Our vision is that by 2030, we will have reached 1 million smallholder farmers, and we do that through extension offices as well. The problem that we see is if you have no data, it literally means you don't understand what's going on, and you can do no optimization as well. And if you can't do that, then no change will actually happen as well. So it's very basic, and that's what we're trying to do. We do that through this little thing. So we have developed this in Rwanda. So we started in 2018, and we are now at a stage where this can connect to nearly any sensor that you can think of. So we do a lot of different things. We have different ways to collect the data. It has an inbuilt SIM card. We can do Wi-Fi and so on as well. And then it is powered through solar or a battery or even through mains as well. So the reason for developing this was literally that we didn't want to just focus on a single thing. We saw that there were many different places where data is required. And so what we ended up focusing on right now, we're focusing on greenhouses, we're focusing on irrigation systems, poultry, we're focusing on cold chain or storage facilities, soil testing, and weather stations as well. It's all done through this one. What changes is the sensors that we connect to it. So if we're doing, let's say, a poultry house, it might be that we're only collecting data on, let's say, humidity and temperature. If we are looking at greenhouses, it might be a sensor that does NPK, EC, pH values, and so on as well. So it's highly versatile, and that also means that we've been able to go into different, let's say, markets. We've been very selective initially in terms of working with different partners because we wanted them to give us a lot of feedback as well. So it's very simple, 4 steps: data collection and storage, data analysis and conversion of the data into insights, making the insights accessible to the end users, and then obviously the end users making different decisions as well and taking actions. We communicate through different aspects. So we have web-based applications, we have Android, and then we also have, for the smallholder farmers, the basic mobile. So that's SMS, USSD, and IVR. Simple model as well. So we have installation fees, setup fees, and then an annual subscription as well. And then year 2, it transitions over to just subscriptions as well. We don't sell the devices as such. We rent them out, and then people can use them as well, and they pay the subscription. So our entry point is literally working together with agribusinesses and NGOs, and that's the way that we reach the smallholder farmers as well. So NGOs, agribusinesses will, let's say, come in, cover the initial investment, and then it transitions over to the smallholder farmers and the farming communities.
Thank you for your
so
presentation.
No problem.
Now let's have some questions from the judges.
Thanks for the presentation. Maybe you can walk us through what's the plan ahead for the next few years?
Yeah, that was sort of where I was getting to. So we're asking for 130 million. It's all going to be in terms of CapEx. That will allow us to really roll out everything in terms of, let's say, the 6 different use cases that we see right now. We do have additional use cases coming in terms of aquaponics and hydroponics. It's very easy for us to develop new solutions because the sensors will just change, and then we can go ahead with that as well. So the amount that we're asking for is literally so that we can go out, we can buy all the sensors, all the equipment that we need. We will then cover all the OPEX and so on. So in 2026, it's going to be quite a slow growth, because it's more in terms of actually getting into market. And then from 2027 and upwards, it goes really quickly as well. The more that we do, because it is subscription-based, the more that we do in a given year helps us in the subsequent year as well. So that's the way that we see it. We've been operating since 2018. This year, our revenue is going to hit 110 million, up from about 80 million last year. And it will be a steady growth up until, I think it's 350 million by 2029.
at the moment, how many clients do you have, and what kind of projection do you have in terms of?
Yeah, good question. I wish I could share the financial model that we created through this program, because it has literally everything. Right now, we work only with 15 different companies and NGOs. So we have 2 NGOs on board, and then the rest is commercial partnerships as well. That will continue to sort of increase. What we can see, or what we learned over the past years, is a lot of times people will come in, they will start quite small, and then once they see that, okay, this data is very valuable, all of a sudden they will come back, and then they will do more and more and more. So let's say an agribusiness will come in where they might have 5, 10 greenhouses. They might start with 1. Once they see, okay, now we understand what's going on, and we can start actually understanding the data and make better decisions, all of a sudden they will come back, and then they will ask for more as well.
Of the 110 million you've done in revenue, what's your profit margin on that?
We are going to break even this year. We had a loss last year, but this year we're going to break even. Going forward, let's say the gross profit margin will steadily increase, going from around 40 up to 60%, and the net profit will go from about 20 up to 40% as well.
Going back to the customers, what's your customer acquisition strategy at the moment, and what's the average contract value of those customers? I know you have different...
Yeah. So this is where it gets complicated, right? Because we work in different sectors as well. So let's say if you're just looking at someone who just has a single greenhouse, then the contract value for a year might only be 2 million. If you have someone who is doing a lot more than that, obviously it increases. What we can see is that a lot of the agribusinesses don't just do a greenhouse. They will also have the cold chain. They will also do the irrigation. So all of a sudden, every single one of them will actually have more value than just a single component as well. The way that we get to the smallholder farmers is through the outgrower schemes. So right now in poultry, we work together with Samura. They have 300 outgrowers as well, and then we work together with them. We have hopefully a pilot coming up as well.
Thank you so much, Christian.
Sorry.
No Kenneth, sorry. Kenneth.
Thank you.
Up next, we are going to hear from Lillian, who's going to be telling us about AgriTech.
Hello, good afternoon. We're coming close to lunchtime, and I'm sure most of us are so hungry. I imagine a situation whereby there was no food. We went on our tables, there's no food. Even when you go to restaurants, you go home, there's no food, because the smallholder farmers have just decided whatever I have is just enough for my family. I cannot have more for the market because of the pressures that are often put on them. Now, these smallholder farmers have so much to go through. First of all, for whatever produce they make with so much effort, they're always taken advantage of by the middlemen. And sometimes they don't have even market information and available prices on the market. And most of the time, even when they produce, the quality is not good enough for the aggregators or off-takers. So they endure a lot of post-harvest losses. And not only that, nature also works against them due to climate change. And they have no idea how to go about it due to a number of things. So what we have in place, the value proposition we have come up in place is minimal platform. How that works, it always, it addresses demand and supply chain gaps in agriculture using digital technologies. So it is embedded with 2 features. First of all, it's a digital marketplace that helps smallholder farmers connect to high-end markets that give them good prices. And secondly, it has a cooperative management system that helps them digitize all the operations such that through credit scoring, they can unlock financial services, and therefore be able to afford improved seeds so that they're climate resilient. That's the competitive edge we have. Our services are simple to use, they're interoperable, they're cost effective, and a lot of that. So that's the market opportunity. We work with smallholder farmers, NGOs, agribusinesses, financial institutions, insurance companies, and that's our channels of distribution. The climate risk associated with our platform, we have physical risk, technological risk, but we've also come up with risk mitigation strategies. Next, that's our revenue model. We make money through subscription, licensing fees, adverts, subsidies, and grants from different donors. The traction, we work with 60 cooperatives. We work in 12 districts in Rwanda, 20,000 smallholder farmers onboarded on our platform, and we have 2 banks on board.
Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
Now we are going to welcome questions from the judges.
Can you tell us about your revenue and what you ask?
Thank you. So going to the revenue, this is how much we make, a total of 93 million, but that's our projected revenues for next year. For this year, we're making around, we're on 20 million, but we have a projected sale of 50 million this year. We're asking for 200 million Rwandan francs. So most of this money will go into system infrastructure and security. It will go into quality control for the production, and also it will go into 50% of it will go in logistics management of our marketplace, so that we're able to tap into the 5%. We're able to tap into the 5% that we expect from buyers on sales made through our platform.
Is there anyone else doing this, or do you have any competitors?
The biggest competitor we have is BK Tech House, but they are more focused on, yes, they are, sorry, they are more focused on input market, not on output. For them, they deal with inputs, seeds and fertilizers, but for us, we're dealing with produce of what the smallholder farmers are producing. The others are upcoming startups.
Do they also become your clients? I'm talking about BK at some point.
You mean?
Do they also become your clients?
Who?
BK, whenever you end up having to sell it.
They will be more of partners instead of, they will be more of partners or clients if we're talking of giving loans to smallholder farmers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's quite tough having to compete with such a big competitor, especially since they also come back again and provide loans.
Yeah, so that's why among the banks we're looking at Urwego and Equity, and we've already started conversations with them.
Come to us as well.
Oh, I will, trust me.
You talked about a marketplace and how you're connecting. Can you tell us how that marketplace is currently being set up? Because I think on your feature of the platform, there's cooperative management, but there's also these other services that you're giving to farmers. How is the marketplace and aggregation done from you? Is it you who owns that activity, or it's someone else and other partners? How is?
We own the marketplace. So what happens on our platform, all the cooperatives publish their harvest on our marketplace, and then we onboard aggregators. So whenever aggregators need, at the beginning of a season, whenever they need certain tons of maize, soybeans, rice. They publish that on our platform, and that goes to all our cooperatives. Whoever needs to respond to that demand can always respond to that. And at the same time, they can always publish whatever they have, and this is visible to the market. So that's through virtual aggregation. Different smallholder farmers within a cooperative, whenever they report through our system, however much they have harvested.
Thank you
and
so much, Lilian.
That is validated at the corporate co-op level.
Thank you so much for an amazing presentation. And for our 10th pitch for today, we are going to be hearing from Souk Farms that is going to be represented by Majoli.
All right. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. I am Akwese Majoli, and I am representing Souk Farms. Souk Farms is a horticultural grower and exporter based in Rwanda. And what we do is we grow horticultural produce such as tender stem broccoli, French beans, chili, and so on and so forth. We are based in several locations in Rwanda. And aside from that, we also work with smallholder farmers through our grower program. And so, I mean, we are one of the top exporters here in Rwanda, and we export to places like the UK, different countries in Europe, as well as UAE. However, we still face some major challenges, one of which is post-harvest loss. Just to give you a picture of how we experience post-harvest loss, this is tender stem broccoli, and for every 1 ton of tender stem broccoli that we export, we actually lose 1.33 tons, and 70% of that is accounted for by post-dehydration. But in total, what we lose in a year, for example, is 38%. Aside from post-harvest loss that we experience, we are also having challenges with scaling up our grower program. One of the things that we really want to do is to increase our grower programs in order to support more smallholder farmers. Right now, we manage our grower program manually, but then we would like to see it go, we would like to manage it in a more efficient way. And so in order to combat all of these challenges, which are more of opportunities for us, we are looking at setting up mobile on-site solar cold storage facilities at a different sites, which is going to help us manage the post-harvest loss that we're currently experiencing due to dehydration. Secondly, we would want to hinge on training our staff as well as our growers on climate-smart agricultural practices such as mulching, crop rotation, and lastly, we would like to implement an ERP system which is going to help us to really have a clear view of our outgrower program, help us manage traceability and our production plan for our outgrowers, basically help us scale up our outgrower program. So in terms of our traction and impact, last year we exported 950 tons of produce, and we're looking at exporting up to 3,000 tons by the year 2027. In terms of the outgrowers that we currently work with 1,200 outgrowers directly and indirectly through cooperatives, and we currently sell our produce at, well, this is lower end, 1,000 to 200 USD per ton, and then we do have a gross margin currently of 20%. So in terms of the impact of our project, we're looking at scaling up our grower program, as earlier mentioned, and we're looking at impacting up to 3,000 smallholder farmers.
Thank you so much for your presentation. Let's have some questions from our esteemed guests, judges.
Can you tell us, for your outgrowers, how are you bringing technology and management to them?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so currently what we do with our outgrower program, we provide them with input and technical support. So we have extension specialists that go to the field to monitor their progress and all of that. And so in order for us to incorporate technology, what we want to do is that we want to get them onboarded. We want to partner, of course, with such providers of such services and to incorporate include them into the system, onboard them into the system, and track things like production planning. So an ideal ERP system for us is going to have a production plan and have basically, where you can see the input, the intake, as well as what is being, processed in the pack house, basically. So streamlining the entire process from the inputs that are being given to our outgrowers all the way to what we're getting from them at the level of the pack house. So we'll have our extension officers work with the smallholder farmers to ensure that they are onboarded on the system, and then they follow up, monitor their progress to ensure that all relevant data is being inputted into the system.
And what's your current ask?
Sorry. Yeah, so what we are asking for is 200 million Rwandan francs, and we want to use this money to install 3 units, 3 solar cold solar facilities on 3 key sites. So we currently have 4 sites, and 3 of them are for vegetable production. 1 is avocado orchard. So we want to install solar cold chain facilities there. And secondly, we want to really hinge on training on climate smart agricultural practices, teaching our outgrowers as well as our staff on practices that are beneficial to us, and also how to track our output in terms of carbon emission and all of that. Because currently we're a very conventional company, but then one thing that we would like to incorporate into our process is also climate smart agriculture. And lastly, we would like to implement an ERP system in order to scale our grower program, and in order to also include climate smart components as well.
Maybe on this, do you have a timeline for this?
Yeah, okay, just to give you an understanding on how we plan on repaying this. So currently, what we lose per year is 38% of our total production, and 70% of that 38% is due to dehydration. So what we're planning to do is, upon the installation of solar cold chain facility on our farms, we plan to recover this 70% of the produce. And if you're looking at what we currently charge, or what we currently get in terms of the amount we get per ton of our produce, if you're to do the math, you would see that we're able to recover that amount, 200 million, within a period of between 6 months to a year.
The 1,000 to 2,000 is your net profit. It's your profit on top of everything, or?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. If there is no more question, okay.
Just
one more.
The capacity of the solar cold rooms, what will be the the 3 units?
So we're looking at 5-ton capacity for the solar coach rooms.
5 tons.
Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Up next, we're welcoming Josephine from Victoria. Okay. Bear with us as they pull up the presentation. They're adding it to the slide. And then we continue with Victoria seats. All right. Here you go. A round of applause for Josephine as she goes to the stage.
Good afternoon, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen. Why invest in Victoria Seeds Limited? The reason is the problem we have identified are these. Rwanda's livestock, dairy livestock is still dependent on rain-fed farming, and as a result, the entire value chain is subjected to the vulnerabilities of climate change. There is limited extension capacity, and because of poor nutrition, there's greenhouse gas emission as it happens from cattle. So what are the market opportunities that Victoria Seeds Limited hopes to address? As of now, the 84% of the country's cattle herd is for dairy. Our value chain is well developed. Nyagatare Powdered Milk Factory, it has a capacity of 650,000 liters of milk per day, but so far only 15% is being met. The government plans in the next 3 years to increase the productivity of milk from 3 million to 10 million. So what do we hope to do as Victoria Seed? Oh, my goodness. Excuse me. As Victoria Seed, one, provide drought-tolerant pasture seed varieties and also improve access through farmer cooperatives, and also part of our funding, ask mobile delivery. Provide climate-smart alternative feed that is not dependent on zero grazing. And these alternative feeds are innovative because they come from both crop residues and green forage. Part of that green forage comes from the pasture seed. They can be seed, they can be for hay, they can be for silage. We hope to have improved milk, triple milk output, better nutrition, less disease pressure, and lower greenhouse gas emission. That is what our product looks like. So this is where we want to go along the value chain. At present, there is no commercial bale. If you're a farmer, you cannot get commercial hay or silage in the country. So it's important that the private sector goes into there. It's easy to transport, and the shelf life moves up to 24 months. So what is the traction? I'll first start by quoting James Gattari, COO of Inyange Industry. He says that during dry seasons, during drought, the productivity of milk drops up to 60%. So they encourage Victoria Seeds to start commercial hay production and silage yesterday, not today. In fact, he says the best variety is alfalfa and sugar graze. That's where we are today. We at present, because this is just our second year of sales, we are working through the two cooperatives. You are welcome.
Thank you. So if I understand it correctly, no one else is selling hay in the country other than you?
When I say commercial hay, the farmers, the large farmers, they produce some hay. These are the large farmers. Let's say the Frisian Dairy Association members, there are 400. So among them, they can have the hay. But the smaller farmers, from 15 cows to lower than that, if they want an alternative, there is no commercial source. That is what I mean, commercial source.
What's your pricing, especially for those smaller holder farmers? And what are you, maybe you can also go through the financials for us to see what you're asking.
Yeah, this is what we wanted the funding for. It comes to 261,000 Rwanda francs, but this is in US dollars because some are imported. It's 181,000 francs. So it's for construction of a fermentation house for silage, then a procurement of mobile hay crusher, then procurement of a baling equipment, then installation of solar power, and then of course it's important to have extension, and for field delivery we need to have tuk-tuks so that the farmers don't have to walk to their own cooperative office, but we do mobile delivery, but we also need to incorporate digital sales as part of the innovation.
What's your pricing for when you're selling the hay?
Oh, it's 3,500 per bale. It's projected. I'm not yet selling. What I'm selling is the seed.
Currently, you have no revenue at the moment.
Pardon?
You have no revenue at the moment.
We have revenue from seed sales. Bracharia brisantha, Panica maxim, and here we go, and alfalfa.
So maybe a quick difference. So you're selling the seeds to these companies, right?
We are selling the seed to the farmers through the cooperatives.
Through the cooperatives.
Yeah, but we need to grow capacity and do mobile delivery.
And the hay is going to be, that's what you want to build and start selling in the next couple of months.
So instead of, you know, when a farmer buys seed, he has to plant the seed and it produces the forage. So when there is drought, the farmer has nowhere else to get food. And actually animals die and they get stressed from poor feeding, they get disease pressure. So when there is alternative feed like hay, it means the farmer has an alternative. He can pick that and feed his animal. And as you are aware, the government of Rwanda is promoting zero grazing because 70% of land should be for agricultural crops and 30% for livestock. So without zero grazing, that target cannot be realized.
How are you thinking about distribution, and especially like as you start, which districts, which places, and how are you going to get to the farmers?
Good question. We are starting with Nyagatare and Kirehe district. Kirehe, because that is where our operation is. This is the factory in Kirehe, and Nyagatare, we already have the partner. This is Camel Farm, and you see he's willing to provide. We cannot, with farmers seeing is believing, so they need the demonstration to see what it is that they are going to feed their cows with, and will it have an impact? Will the milk increase triple?
Thank you so much.
Can I have the clicker? It's okay.
Last but not least, we are going to hear from Vinay, who's going to be telling us about Virunga Biotech. Here, here.
Good afternoon, everybody. This is Vinay. I'm the managing director of Virunga Biotech. Virunga Biotech was founded in 2017. We are an innovation-driven enterprise. Hi, can you hear me now? Virunga Biotech was founded in 2017. Yeah. So Virunga Biotech was founded in 2017. We are innovation-driven enterprise focusing mainly on agriculture transformation through cutting post-harvest losses, empowering small-scale farmers, and also getting access to the premium markets. The problems which mainly have, as my other colleagues have discussed, is mostly to do with the climate shocks and the compliance gaps, which usually result in 35% of post-harvest losses. And Virunga, it's a big impact to Virunga operations because 98% of our fresh produce comes from the small-scale farmers. And also there's a new EU regulation 2023-1134, which requires most of the produce which has been exported from Rwanda to be grown under shade nets or to be having a post-harvest treatment process. So what Virunga Biotech does, we are trying to relieve and focusing on farmers who can, work more on the production rather than financial issues. So we are supplying seedlings, we are supplying resilient seedlings, nano fertilizers, and crop protection, and we're also paying 50% of the crop insurance, so that they can boost they can boost the productivity. And Virunga Biotech is the only Rwanda's EU-compliant post-harvest treatment processing facility, which is completely compliant with 2023-1134. And this also helps in relieving farmers' financial stress by buying expensive shade nets. So the traction, we're already exporting a lot of high-demand crops like chili, beans, and other ethnic vegetables to Germany, France, Italy. And we have a proven track record where we were beating our revenue by 100% every year during the peak seasons. And the farmers have seen a revenue growth of 30%. And our workforce is mainly youth, with 70% women. What Virunga would do with this grant is increase our exports from 15 tons to 40 tons per week, and also providing post-harvest services to 70 exporters for another 40 tons. And we would also get into high-margin crops like leafy vegetables, which can be exported throughout the year and have high margins. And we would like to replace chemicals with biofertilizers, lowering soils and emissions. And other advantage we have is we'll be able to have 24/7 cold chain facility along with reducing the carbon dioxide. So the ask is 300 million, and mostly the 300 million will go to our anaerobic digester, and we really need this because there's 50% of rejection which happens, which comes to 80 tons of wastage, which has to be discarded through landfills. We want to avoid that. And we want to expand 30%, cold storage, and upgrade the pack house for BRCGS certification, and repayment is guaranteed. Thank you. Yeah. Ready for questions?
Can you quickly talk about your current revenue, like in the last few years?
Yeah, in 2021, our revenue was about 1.2 million. In 2024, the revenue dropped down to 700,000. 2025, we're expecting the same. And the reason for that, we have moved our operations from Kigali to Bigaga. It's a small village next to, in Rubona sector, where we were focusing on our construction of our packers. And due to the COVID and Red Sea crisis and Ukraine war, we were not able to focus on both. So we were only focusing on construction. Now we have finished the construction. We would now go back to meeting our exports. And we do have contracts with the buyers, close to 50 tons per week to supply them.
Are you tracking any impact metrics as well?
Impact metrics, we see farmers' income grow to at least $1 million to $2 million starting from 2027. And we also see increase. In 12 months, we want to increase to 40 tons and provide 5 exporters. But from 2020, so in 5 years, we want to do 160 tons per month and go to 800 tons of pickled produce, which will be exported to sea freight. Not air freight. And this is the impact after the grant intervention. So we'd be able to export, 80 tons instead of 12 tons per week.
Can you remind me, so far, up to in September, how much revenue do you have this year?
Export season is usually from November to July, and then starts again from November onwards. So this year we were doing trials on our pack house, and we exported the output of our processing line, and we were able to successfully export to France, UK, and Germany. And right now, currently, we have contracts with cooperative societies. And we have helped the farmers. We have provided up to 35 hectares of seedlings and fertilizers to the farmers. So as we speak, we're expecting production or yields to come from November 15th, and we will start exporting. So 2024 was 700 million. 2025, we are expecting another 600, 700, not more than that.
How are you working with your farmers to maintain your certification, or for them to be up to standards? And as you know, for fresh produce, there's already so many exporters.
Yes.
How are you competing in the market in terms of access to?
Right. The farmers, we are very unique in terms of providing the support of the farmers. We are providing them seedlings, number one, which reduces the production time by 55 days. Number two, we are providing organic fertilizers and organic production, because most of the farmers, when they're spraying your conventional fertilizers and pesticides, they cannot harvest for 14 to 15 days where they'll be losing a lot of yield. But with the organic production, they can harvest after 1-2 days. That's number two. Number three is we are providing the crop insurance, 50% crop insurance. And Global Gap certification, we have about 7 agronomists and we have consultants who have a field visits and then make sure that they follow the Global Gap practices. And in terms of how we are different from other exporters, we are the only company which has post-harvest facility, and going forward very soon, we are the only company who will not require our farmers to invest on expensive shade nets. Expensive shade nets, because the new regulation requires farmers to grow in the under the shade nets.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Once again, please, a big round of applause for the ventures, the judges. We've heard about amazing solutions, and in a moment, I'll invite you to, one, connect with them, ask them the burning questions that you had, and also connect over the marketplace. But before that, I would like to welcome Susan so she can give us I'd say closing remarks, but not really closing remarks before we move to the next segment. Susan, please join me.
Thank you. Thanks, everybody, and thanks for the team that just pitched. It's been great to see the progresses. I'm from A4IP, I'm one of the partners, and I was here in June for the bootcamp, so I think I really witnesses the progresses that have been made, and this has been thanks to your hard work, but also to all the partners that have made this possible. I think just I want to leave some thoughts after hearing these speeches that I hope you can leverage and you can bring home for the future. I think first of all, clarity is essential. I've seen some of you made some great progresses on explaining what your venture is doing, but I think also for the jury and for everybody in the room, it's very important that you explain clearly what's your value proposition, what's the impact that you are bringing to the world with your venture. That's essential. The traction as well. So some of you showed great traction. Whatever you have been doing so far, that's important. And it's equally important also to show the plan ahead. So some of you really showed us how you're gonna also spend the refundable grants. And that's important also to be aware of those numbers and be ready to justify it to the jury and to the room and to the banks and to all the stakeholders, to the investors that you will be speaking to. And yeah, I would say thank you very much for whatever you have been shared today, and I think it's a great sign of the hard work you put these months. And this is not the end, no? It seems like it's the end of a program, but it's actually a starting point. And regardless the output of the program, only 5 of you up to 5 will get the refundable grant. But I think this is already a win. The way I saw you, also the confidence that you showed on stage was very different from June. So I think that's also a key learning you have to bring with you. And also I think in every program, what you also have to value a lot is the network. And I think events like today are really the platform for you to meet amazing people, amazing partners that you never know whatever that connection can bring you to. So really just as a last message, I just want to say good luck to you, to all the ventures for whatever is coming next. And thanks to all the partners that made this possible. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now we are going to close this segment, and the winners for the five of them are going to be announced in the 5 days. Remember, okay, I'd like to invite Charis so he can tell us more about what's coming next, and also on how the winners and the process. Remember, they told us about 1, the scores from the pitch, 2, the funding proposals, and also what we just heard today in the pitch event. Before we break to the marketplace, I'm going to invite my colleague Charis so he can tell us more about the marketplace and also the rationale behind.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Oh, that changed. Thank you so much, Chelsea. A big round of applause to our esteemed judges, please. A very big round of applause to the ventures. I just wanted to echo again maybe what Susanna has mentioned. This is a journey, but we also recognize even beyond the program, this journey continues. So we appreciate all the efforts that you are putting in to bring your solutions to the market, to continue impacting smallholder farmers. For the purposes of today, maybe as I had shared and how in terms of the process, so the judges will be tallying and giving you a score for today. They will give super detailed notes to the program team. And then, of course, the score from today will be added to the score from the due diligence findings, along with the score for the proposals that you submitted, which will go hand in hand with analyzing and assessing the financials that you shared. So, and then in the next few weeks, we'll be reaching out and also announcing who gets to be selected. And again, regardless of who's selected, all of you, of course, you keep working on your solutions, you keep developing your solutions. And then that is also one of the reasons why today we put together our marketplace so that you can display your products. And we invite different people in the room, different partners, different investors and financiers. And the idea is that beyond the program, you can still get to connect with valuable people that can collaborate with you, that can invest in you, that can partner with you to be able to scale your solution. So please look across the room, find people that you're interested in, go talk to them. But the same invitation to the people from the banks, from the investors, please talk to the ventures. We recognize that 3 minutes is not enough to understand fully the extent of their impact and their business. That is why we created the booklet. So we invite you also to scan it and be able to understand a bit more information. But please be able to talk to them, and hopefully some good collaborations can come out of this, because in the end we all exist to extend the impact to the smallholder farmers. Okay? Thank you very much again, once again.
Thank you so much. Before we break and go to the marketplace and also a lunch, yay, I would like to invite us here on the stage, the ventures, the judges, the partners, collaborators, investors, so you can capture this moment in a group picture. Please join me here so you can have a group picture, and then we can proceed with the next items on the agenda. Everyone in the room is invited to the group picture, please. Yes. I'm going to invite you to take a step down. Take a step down here. Yes. So we have other people go on the stage. My baby's gonna left me. You can even make another one. Please. Other people in the room, we still have some space behind the stage. Please.
AgriTech4Rwanda Innovation Challenge is truly unique, and we've been able to design what we like to call a one-stop center in which agribusinesses could be able to find all the necessary support.
We have been supporting those companies with one-on-one technical tailored support, starting by a business diagnostic, followed by a needs assessment to understand exactly the problem or what they needed to scale the solution.
And since these are small ventures at this point in time, they they need to focus on other priorities, like raising capital for their company, creating a market share. Through this accelerator program, it's a very good opportunity for companies to rely on us to do the science and the literature rather than them setting up their own research unit. So they can rely on our research insights to build their products and businesses. So that has been the unique thing in my perspective.
So what is really unique about the program is that we're offering a repayable grant to the businesses. And what it is in simple terms, it is a zero interest loan. And really, it is helping us showcase the repayment capability of the businesses that we'll be able to select, because we truly want them to stand out.
We want to see them scale. We want to see them